Hello folks. In a previous video we had looked at how we could build a single formula to combine first and last names into a set of email addresses using an array formula and the new map lambda function to combine the first and last with a join function, and the join function is not usually an array formula. So with the new map lambda, we could turn that into an array. But now I want to look at how we could split a set of email addresses that might be built as first and last name into a set of first and last names. So take an email address and split it into first and last name. So our first step would be to write a regex, and I'm going to erase this off and start again. So it would be equal regexextract, and then you're going to point to the text, and in this case I'll go ahead and point to this text here. And then the second part of a regexextract formula is the regular expression. I could do one of two things. I could take my regex and paste it inside quotes, or I could reference a cell where I've put in the regex expression. And you can see the regex expression is in cell I1. It is basically saying grab everything up into the @ symbol. So I can go ahead and hit enter now, and you can see with that regex extract, I've got my first and last names. Now I could take this and I could go ahead and copy that regex expression, and instead of referencing the cell, I could put in quotes that information, and I get the same thing. So that's the first part of our split. The next thing then is I'd like to split this. So this is going to be equal split, and what we're going to split is this, and we're going to split that by the delimiter, which is a dot. So we have to put that inside of quotes, hit enter, and let's see, hit the wrong thing. And you can see I've split the name into Bob Charn. Okay. If I wanted that to be in a proper format, I would wrap it in a proper, let's go ahead and let's insert another column left here. If I wrapped this in proper, then we would get that expression, and it's gotten rid of the split, but we're going to find that'll come back later. That's going to give me this split as a function with uppercase first letters. So that's our use of the proper function. And then what we want to do is have this actually work as a single array formula. So we would have to let's see what happens if we switch this to putting the proper after the split. Let's see. So we do split proper, and then let's see, what do we get? So if we put the proper of E3 and then split it, we get what we're after, which is, now we've taken this, we've started with this, and we've taken that email address, we've used the regex to get just the Bob Charn, we've split and made it proper case. So that's, we'll go ahead and move this back over here. So now we could combine these two things. So what we want to do is get that regex expression in the right place. So let's switch this. Instead of using the proper from the regex extract, let's actually do a regex extract of the original. So in this case, we're going to switch this from E3 to C2, and we're going to do our regex extract. And in fact, what we could do, let me go ahead and hit that. Let's go ahead and take this. Let's take this regex extract that we had right here. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And then in this, instead of E2, we're going to paste in our regex extract. And you can see now we don't need this any longer. We're actually extracting uppercase Bob Charn from this email address. So split proper regex extract of C2. Now we could copy this down and we would get all these different addresses, but what I'd rather do is turn this into an array formula. So, oops, I got rid of my formula there. We can just get rid of that. So if I wrap this with an array formula and Command-Shift-Enter makes it an array formula. Now notice that doesn't help, but if I did C2:C, we would get the correct answer. When you're doing an array formula, it's important to make sure that you're not, in our case, we had this formula one row below where we were starting, and so it kept having to add an unlimited number of rows. So you want to be careful with that. You'd want this formula to be, if you're referencing C2, you can't put this in a lower cell. But I also now want to get rid of this value, and we'll do that by wrapping this in if error. And if we do that, we should get rid of that. So here's our single formula with a taking a set of email addresses that are consisting of first and last names, and from that, with a single formula, an array formula, split proper regex extract, we're extracting the first and last name, and then we're splitting them, making them proper, and then using an array formula wrapped in if error, so that we can now, if we were to add another address here, you could see well, if we tabbed correctly, you could see that as we build an email address now, we can also extract the first and last names.